The Republic of Indonesia is composed of 17,508 islands and is one of the most beautiful places on Earth. But on one of these islands, there is an ancient beast that exists nowhere else in the world, and they are deadly. On a seemingly normal day on the mysterious and beautiful Komodo Island, where the divide between tame and wild aren't always clear, a terrible tragedy occurred that shocked, scared, and intrigued people all over the world. Muhammad Anoir's life was tied to the island's natural beauty and daily rhythms. One of the most dangerous animals in the world, the Komodo dragon, adds to the beauty of the island. But for Muhammad Anoir, the dragon would prove to be the king of the island. This is ultimate misfortune. Don't forget to click that subscribe button, like the video, and turn on notifications. There are many beautiful natural sights in Indonesia: picturesque beaches, lush forests, large lakes, towering volcanoes, and so much more. On the beautiful and legendary Komodo Island, a terrifying story takes place. This story of how 31-year-old Muhammad Anoir's life tragically ended by a simple mistake. Muhammad Anoir's story describes the danger of living on an island with one of the most feared creatures in the world. One minute you're working, and the next minute you're being attacked by the largest lizard on the planet. The Komodo dragon is the largest lizard on Earth, and it is named after the island. Komodo Island has a surface area of 291 square kilometers and has a human population of about 1,800 people. As a result of their size, Komodo dragons are apex predators and dominate the ecosystems in which they live. Komodo dragons hunt and ambush prey, including invertebrates, birds, and mammals. Komodo dragons' group behavior in hunting is exceptional in the reptile world. The diet of Komodo dragons mainly consists of hewan rusa, though they also eat considerable amounts of carrion. Komodo dragons also occasionally attack humans. Young Komodo dragons are vulnerable and dwell in trees to avoid predators, such as cannibalistic adults. They take 8 to 9 years to mature and are estimated to live up to 30 years. The Komodo dragon has amazing speed, which is one reason why this creature is feared. These dragons can run as fast as 12 miles per hour. These amazing animals can easily swim up to 500 meters and are excellent hunters both on the land and in the water. When suitable prey arrives near a Komodo dragon's ambush site, it will charge at the animal at high speeds and go for the underside or the throat. Komodo dragons do not deliberately allow the prey to escape with fatal injuries, but try to kill the prey outright, using a combination of lacerating damage and blood loss. The venom of the Komodo dragon leads to most prey that are attacked suffering from sepsis and will later be eaten by the same or other lizards. Komodo dragons eat by tearing large chunks of flesh and swallowing them whole while holding the carcass down with their forelegs. Unlike the fierce Komodo dragon, our main character, Muhammad Anoir, was like an angel. Anoir was the essence of the island's people because he was strong and healthy, standing tall and quick with sun-kissed skin. His friends liked him because he was kind and had a smile that brightened other people's day. No matter what Anoir was going through in life, he was always there for his family and friends. He was a great fisherman and had been in the island's seasonal trades for a very long time. In late March 2009, ripe apple trees sprung to life, only adding to the beauty of the island. When it stopped raining, the air was cool, and the apples, as they shined in the sun, sparkled like gems among the green leaves. During the harvest, Anoir and other people were in the orchard picking apples, which was a hard but satisfying job. Muhammad put on a simple straw hat and carried empty baskets as he went to the orchard on Komodo Island to gather the day's fruit. It was clear what he needed to do. He had to pick the beautiful red apples that were hanging from the trees. Muhammad worked very quickly and efficiently to finish his job, filling 2 baskets. In his search for these valuable foods, Muhammad used a ladder to get to parts of the trees that were too high for him. It was clear that he was very focused on getting the most out of his work. Suddenly, something terrible happened as he reached for a particularly tempting bunch of red apples. It had rained the night before. The mossy branch was slippery, so he had to let go of it. The big basket he had with him made it even harder for Muhammad to keep his balance. He fell quickly and hard, 2 meters to the ground below. The apples were strewn all over the ground, surrounding his body. Muhammad suffered superficial wounds because of the fall, and they were not life-threatening. However, he did have bleeding small cuts and scrapes. In the wild nature of Komodo Island, even a small cut could mean that danger is close. Muhammad had no idea that the smell of his own blood was sending a subtle message to the Komodo dragons, which were the most dangerous animals on the island. These huge creatures have an unmatched sense of smell that lets them smell death and blood from far away, enticing them towards their next meal. As Muhammad looked up from his fall, he knew the situation was about to go from bad to worse. The Komodo dragons were already on their way, moving at a high rate of speed, wanting to have something to eat. In a terrifying moment, a blink of an eye, Muhammad saw that the danger was too great. A Komodo dragon had already caught him in its teeth. It was fast and quiet. After the initial shock of the attack wore off, Muhammad found himself in a fierce battle of survival against not one, but two huge lizards. Muhammad fought back with all his strength, even though he was severely injured. In order to scare the dragons away, he kicked and pushed against their massive heads and crushing teeth. But the Komodo dragon's ferocity was way too much. The dragon's sharp teeth went through deep wounds and tore a critical artery in Muhammad's leg when he tried to run away, but quickly fell back to the ground. The sound of Muhammad's cries of pain filled the atmosphere. The dragon's attack was vicious and relentless. Upon hearing the screams of help from Muhammad, the community bravely and quickly came to his aid. People from the area rushed over to help as soon as they heard the screeching cries of help and the commotion of the beast's attack. Their brave attempt to save Muhammad from the dragon's claws turned into a bloody battle that showed how dangerous it can be to live in the same proximity with such a scary animal. Even though they tried their best, Muhammad was seriously hurt. The locals rushed to stop the bleeding in the hopes to save his life, even though the odds were against them. Using a fast boat, they quickly took him to Flores Island, but he had already lost too much blood. Muhammad Anoir did not make it to the hospital in time. He had succumbed to his injuries. His death left the town in grief and served as a sobering reminder of how dangerous Komodo dragons can be. The people who live on Komodo Island were filled with fear and grief after this terrible event. A Komodo dragon attacking and killing a grown person is something that rarely occurs. Muhammad Anoir's death showed how random and dangerous living on the island can be. Living near these ancient predators requires a constant mindset of being alert and vigilant. Thanks for taking the time to watch our video. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, like the video, and click the bell to get notifications. Tell us your thoughts in the comments below. Thank you for watching Ultimate Misfortune.